safety of a multi-billion-dollar gas pipeline being constructed across the states. The Mariner East 2 pipeline will transport natural gas liquids from a shale region in western Pennsylvania to an industrial complex near Philadelphia. That is more than 350 miles. The oil company behind the massive project says it will add billions of dollars to the economy and create hundreds of jobs. Don Dahler is in Exton, Pennsylvania, where some residents say the payoff isn't worth the risk. Don, good morning.
Good morning. As you can see, the Mariner East 2 pipeline runs right through town and through some of the most densely populated parts of the state. Eventually, it will carry liquid natural gas to a shipping terminal where it will be exported overseas. Pipelines are nothing new to this area, but many of the residents who live around here say the construction of this one is continuing without due consideration of the risk.
The sheer scale of the Mariner East 2 pipeline is best viewed from above, where a path has been carved into the landscape of Chester County, Pennsylvania, just over 30 miles west of Philadelphia.
Where the drill site is, that used to be covered in beautiful, mature, big trees.
Virginia Kerslake and David Mano are concerned neighbors.
This is what is coming out of my well.
Did they tell you what the chemicals are in this?
This is bentonite clay, which is what they use to lubricate the drill bit.
What is your worst case scenario?
An explosion. If there were to be a leak in the pipeline, the gas escapes, it goes back into its gaseous state. It's odorless, it's colorless. As long as it goes undetected, it's just waiting for an ignition source to set it off. And if it explodes, the blast zone is anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 feet.
The $2.5 billion Mariner East 2 pipeline is being built alongside an older, smaller pipeline called Mariner East 1. It will transport liquid forms of ethane, butane, and propane across the full width of the state to a refinery complex at Marcus Hook. Once completed, Sunoco has plans to add an additional pipeline. Altogether, it's estimated the pipelines could transport up to 675,000 barrels each day. According to a recent report paid for by Sunoco, the project will add as much as $9 billion to the region's economy and add hundreds of construction and permanent jobs.
There's no amount of money, there's no number of jobs that is worth putting all these lives at risk.
But they say they're not putting their lives at risk.
Sure, of course they say that.
Both residents point to an independent risk analysis funded by a group of private citizens. It concluded that a leak of highly pressurized liquid gas could result in a flammable vapor cloud that could spread up to 1,800 feet within 3 minutes, burning anyone within 700 feet.
You'd have to evacuate on foot because you can't start a vehicle. You can't even use your cell phone to call for help because those things can set off the gas. So it's an impossible task. First responders can't build emergency response plans. We can't prepare for this.
Rebecca Britton, a mother of two, worries about the safety of her family.
The best I can do to prepare for this risk is to leave my kids' shoes by the door so we can run upwind on foot a half a mile in the event of a leak. That's an unreasonable amount of risk to ask my family to take.
In a statement to CBS this morning, Sunoco said the pipeline project was thoroughly vetted over the past 5 years by the appropriate federal, state, and local agencies, and that the company has trained more than 2,300 first responders since 2013, adding that all are prepared to handle any issues involving Mariner East 2 or any other pipeline. Earlier this month, the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection indefinitely suspended work on the pipeline for, among other things, allowing the unauthorized discharge of industrial waste and failing to perform work according to permit specifications. Over 6,000 people have now signed a petition asking the governor to take a closer look at the pipeline's potential risks. Pennsylvania Senator Tom McGarrigle said that while the pipeline is safe, the concerns of some citizens may have been overlooked.
And I think the gas companies, where they missed the boat, they didn't do enough education. They needed to meet with these neighbors and just not go ahead with construction. From now on, they need to sit down with these neighbors and explain everything.
A spokesman for the governor's office tells CBS News that the suspension of construction will continue until Sunoco satisfies the DEP's demands. As for that risk assessment that the residents are asking for, there is no commitment yet from the state. Nora.
Don, thank you. It's really incredible to see just those pipes in your backyard. It really puts it in perspective.
And reasonable to understand why they might be concerned.
Yeah, vetted with everybody, Jeff, as you say, except for the neighbors. Yeah, you might want to weigh in on that.
All right, up next, a look at this morning's other headlines, including